Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a drink, it is time for some Path of Exile discussion. Welcome to day 19 and the final day of Lake of Kalandra spoiler season. I wasn't expecting to be making a daily news video today, but it turns out there's a little bit of stuff to cover, so I'm going to get through all of that, and then I will talk also about my plans for Leaguestart. So firstly, Lake of Kalandra expansion launching soon. GGG have posted the torrent file. Link down in the description below. Don't bother downloading this unless you know you need it. There are players who will gain from this. They're people who have a stable but slow internet connection. If you're in this situation, you know who you are. Start downloading this. You've probably already done it. You probably set an alarm to do it if it came up at a bad time of the day for you. Otherwise, completely ignore this piece of news. It is very much for a small section of the player base. Secondly, there was the item Elevore that was revealed today. Now, this one's interesting because the first time it was revealed was via a now deleted tweet. Let's have a look at that tweet. Here's Elevore, a new unique helmet in Lake of Kalandra. Item level 95. Otherwise, the item is the same, but here's the later reveal. You'll see that on this post, there's nothing about the item level. It is just the same stats as it had before. Now, there's a bit of speculation that this may have been a cryptic teaser. Nick from GGG has basically denied this. I'm inclined to believe the most likely possibility is that this was just generated with GM tools, and then players have seen, hey, there's something really weird going on here, item level 95, what's happening? However, there is one way an item level 95 item can be generated in the current game, even on standard now, and that is in the unique map Ober's Cursed Trove. This has a final room that has +5 to the monster level of the area. If you're running a tier 16 Ober's Cursed Trove, that's level 83 by default, you have the Deadly Nightmare node on the Atlas passive tree that raises unique maps to level 85. That makes the last room where the treasure chests are level 90, and then those treasure chests are strongboxes. If you roll them to get the Of Ascendance mod, then they can have +4 or +5 to the level of all contained items. So it is possible to get item level 95 drops in the game at the moment. They're very few and far between, and most people don't care about them because they're really just for the memes, but they do exist. That said, a lot of speculation has been going on that maybe the Lake of Kalandra difficulty scaling that was teased by Chris Wilson in the main announcement, maybe that actually is reflected in increased monster level. That's something GGG haven't really done. The Simulacrum and other Delirious content uses a different system entirely, and the Sentinels used the same system as the Delirium setter. And who knows, maybe Lake of Kalandra will create items that are far above level 83, 84, 85, 86. We'll have to find that out over the next few days. Finally, we got a Penumbra Ring teaser. This is an interesting base. Now, it's worth saying that all of the ones of these that drop will be mirrored because they will come out of the Lake of Kalandra, and you'll have two versions of them to choose between, one of which will have a certain combination of mods, and the reflected version, which will have negative mods where the other one has positive mods, and vice versa. So the Penumbra Ring is an interesting base because it has the ability to increase the effect of curses on you. Normally this is a bad thing, but there are builds that are based around increasing the effect of temporal chains on yourself, and using this to extend the duration of positive buffs on yourself, such as those that are granted by the unique belt Headhunter. So Self-Curse Headhunter has been really good in the past, and this will be a buff to that playstyle. However, you've got to get these craftable, and the only way that I can think of to do that is to vendor 5 rare Penumbra Rings. If you do that, you should be able to get one back that's not mirrored. I expect most of these that exist will be garbage, so for that reason, you can do that fine. The other thing of note on this is that the negative mods on it are things that do things a little bit differently to how players had expected. So what players had expected was that if the ring that was beneficial had adds 6 to 13 physical damage to attacks, then the detrimental version of that would be reduces your attack damage by 6 to 13 physical damage. It's not that, it is adding 6 to 13 physical damage to attacks made against you. Likewise for Life Leech, instead of being negative physical attack damage leech, instead it is physical attack damage leeched by enemies as life. Now this ring is obviously complete rubbish and you wouldn't wear it, but it's just some interesting mechanics that are displayed on it, and I think we'll see a lot of rubbish rings like this as we explore the Lake of Kalandra. Now one thing needs to be said, and that is that if that lose 29 life per second applies when you are in town, and I don't know whether it does or not, but if it does, and you equip this onto a Chaos Inoculation character, you will completely destroy your character. Even if it is in softcore, you will not be able to remove this ring in order to resurrect them in town. Hopefully GGG have thought of this and have managed to make sure that this doesn't apply in town, because otherwise this is going to result in some completely bricked characters, which will then result in angry Reddit threads, and these ones will be pretty justified, to be fair. In terms of my own plans for Leaguestart, I have been working on a Soulrend Occultist just to try and explore the buff to Soulrend. I've got it in a place where I feel it's almost shareable, and I want to work on it a little bit more and then post that as a sort of guide. However, it's not going to be what I'm going to start. I will be pretty clear that it will not be something that's comprehensively tested. People can make up their own minds whether it looks particularly strong or not. As for what I'm wanting to play, I want to play with the new Trickster, and I'm still trying to think of what skill I want to use. So my solution is going to be simple. I want to level with Explosive Trap, potentially as a Saboteur, because that has the most synergies, but I could even just go straight into Trickster anyway and level with Explosive Trap. That way I'll be able to get a lot of my Atlas done quickly, and then I can respec into something on the Trickster that's more interesting once I've made up my mind. The other thing to note is that I will be streaming my journey from Leaguestart onwards, and that will be over on my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/SirGog. I may also do some sections of the stream over on YouTube, but broadly I use YouTube for recorded content, Twitch for live. Unless I think there'll be enduring appeal for what I'm streaming, in that case I will generally stream it to YouTube directly. Twitch's licensing rules don't allow me to stream to both platforms simultaneously, so if I go to YouTube, then I can't go to Twitch. If I go to Twitch, I can't go to YouTube. That's all I got. May your Varlobs have interesting results.